Well, so my wife and I went and saw some friends uh, yesterday, and it was an amazing time, absolutely incredible time of the church. There was a older guy there, a seasoned man in the Lord, and just he had touched a lot of lives over the years, and many people were expressing their gratitude and just how he's changed their lives and how the Lord has used him to affect them and just affect generations to come. But then very quickly, everyone moved into just caring for one another, praying for one another's needs. And, the important thing about the time we had was that people genuinely and sincerely cared for everybody there. And so when someone would express a need, people would spend 15-20 minutes ministering to them, praying for them, reading scripture to them. There were prophecies that came forth, words of knowledge, words of wisdom. People were actively operating and functioning in their various spiritual gifts, which work by love. Okay, the gifts of the Spirit work by love, because they genuinely cared and had compassion on the people that were sharing their needs. And it was just a wonderful time. It's an amazing time. People got to feel heard, and they got to be known by other people. There was an atmosphere of gentleness and kindness and patience and safety. There was no program, no agenda. Nobody was rushing through anything. People were just following the Spirit, and with their Bibles open, loving one another, praying for one another, supporting one another with just tremendous patience and care and time. And people were blessed, and people were edified, and people were encouraged very deeply. And the Spirit of the Lord was there in the room. And this went on for probably about, I'm going to say, 2.5 hours. There was no sermon. There was no message. There was no pulpit pew, an audience and a speaker. Everyone was just together in a living room for a couple of hours, praying, loving on each other, sharing, speaking. There was no one trying to argue doctrine. There was no one trying to prove their point. No one had an agenda. It was just kindness and love and mercy. And people were crying, weeping, breakthroughs, people hearing things from the Lord that they needed to hear, that only the Lord knew. And the Lord would show different ones insights and prayers and scripture of exactly what they needed to hear. People were prayed for that needed healing. And it was just a wonderful time of body life. So just to, and one of the reasons for this is the reason why people were able to do this is because these were seasoned people that knew the Spirit. They knew how to let go. Now, not everything there was God. There were some things that were shared that, was just probably people speaking their opinions or whatever. But these people largely were older people in the Lord. They were seasoned in the Spirit. They knew how to let go of what was the flesh and what was the Spirit. They knew how to wait on God and listen and to hear what God is saying for each specific need. They knew the Bible. They knew Scripture. And they were rooted and grounded in the truth. So just an example of how things can be in the church when we learn to open our hearts to one another and to the Spirit of God, when we're not following the traditions of men, not following the agendas of the flesh, not following some pre-programmed, canned liturgy of what we're going to do. How do we know what the Lord's going to do tomorrow at 3 o'clock? You don't know. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what's on the Lord's heart until you're usually there in the moment. So just a taste of things to come, things we're going to be talking about later, because not only is your spiritual walk in discerning flesh from spirit and learning to discern reality from falsehood, not only is that for yourself in your own walk with Christ, but it's for the church. It's for other people to be benefited as well, and for your functioning and for your gifts and for your ministry, if you want to call it that. So we're going to be talking about more of these things as we go along, but I just want to catch you up on current events with me and my wife and what happened this last weekend, and we'll see you on the next video soon.